We believe that President Cyril Ramaphosa is now addressing community members. He's in fact at the bridge. Let's listen in.
Ekuthiwa una 13 years ukuya kwi 14 years. Ezantsi kwakhe kubhubhe utata khona nomntana khona. Umama wakhona upha eholweni ngethamsanqa likaThixo wafumaneka ebambeke esihlahleni ngapha ezantsi. Wephukile kodwa phengalweni, usindile kodwa yena uyaphila. Amanzi kodwa amthatha endlini apha ngokudilika kwendlu.
So nina ke xa nifika nizonceda aba bantu benisuka kwephi ndawo?
Thina mongameli sihlala ngapha kwelicala. Athe ukuba ehuthile lamanzi kwelicala siubona umlinganiselo waba wehlile. Seza ke ngozokhangela abanye abantu ngova ikhwelo kuba kukhona abantu kule mizi abayebakwazi uphuma engekagcwalisi lamanzi. Bafika ke baripota kulaa ndawo bekustake kuyo abantwana besikolo bebetyekezwe ibhasi. Omnye wabantwana besikolo oye wagive up around i8 eziba usukela ngo6 ekhala ecela uncedo simane simthembisa sithi bambelele emthini suba sayeka. Umthi uphaya mongameli ngapha ngasemva kwecala esisuka kulo. Wabekela mntana ubona inyoka wakhala wathi nansi inyoka. Wabe uyawuyeka umthilo bebambelele kuwo. Wabe umka namanzi lamntana sizomfumana on the same day ngebus 5 ebambeke kobugoqo obukule flat le imhlophe ngakule pali. Samfumana sengasekho. Kubantwana bebebane bebephila bebambele emthini phaya. Sa sindisa ke aba bathathu besaphila bona aba bathathu.
Okay. All right. Okay.
President, if we can just wrap up our visit here,
so we're going now.
And then we'll be going after this.
Okay.
Yes, sir. Okay. So,
well, we've spent this is cold. He's not going to shoot me. He may shoot me with his words, but not with a firearm. So stand aside. No, I've just been here with colleagues, with ministers, with the Premier and MECs, Minister Thabisa, Minister Mthatha, and Minister Kwahube, who has had to leave to catch a plane, and the mayor of this OR Tambo, and a number of officials. I've been briefed about what happened here. I must say for starters, I've been hugely impressed with the way that our various departments at national, at provincial and at local government level responded to this disaster. This is a catastrophic disaster where the flood just went way beyond the banks of the river and rose, I would estimate, more than 4 meters high and swept through the various houses and killing up to 78 people. And the saddest part, not that the others are not sad, is that the children, young children, school transport was swept away and we lost them. I'm pleased with the way that Minister Thabisa, heading the disaster assistance, as well as Minister Kwahube and Minister Mthatha responded from national level. And the Premier himself was on the ground, even saving some of the survivors and going through this area in his gumboots. So this is a catastrophe that I do believe could never have been foreseen, because as I see it, much as the people are slightly closer to the river, but they are quite a distance from the river. Where we are standing now is almost like 500 to 600 meters from the actual river. So for the river to have burst its banks in the way that it did is quite catastrophic, and it bears testimony to the challenge of climate change that we are now experiencing. It has never really happened that this time of the year that we should have floods and rain, and even in the Gauteng area we've had downpours of rain this time of the year, which we never really have. So the challenge of climate change is quite huge, and it is affecting the livelihoods of people, it's affecting infrastructure, and it's affecting the lives of people who we are losing. To have lost 78 people just within a matter of 2-3 days is quite catastrophic. I must pay my respect and recognition to the rescue teams. Our rescue teams as well as our forensic teams have been really good. They've responded quickly in real time, and some of the families have had anxiety, but they have also been comforted by the fact that their bodies of their loved ones have been found, and post-mortems, or autopsies rather, have been conducted, and now they will be ready to bury their dead. So this is a moment of sadness, even for us as we are walking around here. And we have pledged that we will assist the people who have suffered as a result of this. Government will be there to help with shelter at the moment, and we have to pay tribute also to non-governmental organizations that have been working with us, such as the Gift of the Givers and others. And our religious leaders have been on the ground continuously, and we thank them for that. So there has been quite a lot of assistance activity around this, and this obviously makes us be more aware of being disaster ready. And to some extent, yes, we have been, and we need to do more. So being here has given me a good briefing of exactly what happened here. We've received messages of support from other countries, which we are grateful for, from various countries around the world, and that just goes to show that we don't live alone on this earth, and there are those who see and watch what is happening and pledge their solidarity, which is what our G20 presidency is all about fostering equality, solidarity, and sustainability. So the climate change effect that we are seeing here is one of the issues that we want to address frontally at the G20. And as we now head to the G7 in Canada, it is one of the issues that we are going to be putting forward on the global agenda, that areas of the world where there are repeated disasters, like we have in our own country, KZN and the Eastern Cape are always affected by various types of disasters. In the summer, it's a huge downpours of rain causing floods that kill and destroy infrastructure. And now here in the Eastern Cape as well, in addition to the disasters they suffer in summer, now in winter, it's not only snow and cold, it's also floods that are now descending on the people of the Eastern Cape. So we pledge our solidarity and have passed our condolences to the families of those who have lost their loved ones. Thank you very much. And Polly, isn't it time for you to go back to the studio now?
Quick question. Mr. President, two quick questions. How seriously are you going to take the suspicion that something may have gone wrong with the Mthatha Dam for this area to be engulfed by water in that way? But second and lastly, Mthatha is the resting place of this country's founding president. The infrastructure is horrible, Mr. President. Much like you were horrified by the city of Joburg, this is another one where people are going to probably come here for tourism. What is going to be done about the economically depressed OR Tambo region?
Well, with regard to the suspicion that the flow of the water may have been unusual, because there's the Mthatha Dam and the flow of the water seems to have come from the wrong direction. It's something that needs to be looked into. The Mthatha Dam does not have a sluice gate, so it cannot be that the water was opened to flow in a different direction. We need to look at exactly what the flow of the water was. Is it possible that the water was flowing down and could have gathered in a particular place and reversed? It does happen when floods are in full flight. So this is a matter that obviously the Department of Water and Sanitation needs to look at and come back with a clear opinion. But the fact that the Mthatha Dam does not have a sluice gate which could have been opened should already give us an indication that it's nothing. I wouldn't say there was anything that was intentionally done. It could have been just the flow of the water, but let's focus on what Department of Water and Education will find. With regard to, if you like, service delivery is a challenge all over the country. And that is why we are focusing in our priorities as the Government of National Unity on increasing the capacity of the state and focusing on local government through the Vulindlela Phase 2 process. Minister Thabisa is focused on trying to reposition our municipalities, but he's not the only one. Our Operation Vulindlela 2, which is headed by the presidency as well as Treasury, is focusing on that. We're looking at how we can reposition our local government so that people who live in our towns, and they all live in our towns and rural areas, should find that we're providing better services. And what services are a big challenge here in OR Tambo as well. And as you correctly say, the home and the resting place of our founding president. But it's all perverse throughout the country, and that is why we've made the functioning of local government an area of focus. We want to correct that. And we're not only doing it because we're going to the elections in 2026. It's a matter that we've got to do it as a matter of fact and ensuring that our people do get to live in a better place, and so that we can also boost the economic fortunes of our various local areas. So we will be attending to that.
Thank you, guys. Thank you so much.
Do we know the death toll at this stage and how many? Yes, sir. Sorry,
Introduce yourself.
My name is Abongile Yankis from the SABC here. Mr. President, do you have an idea of how many people are still missing, and what's the actual figure of the death toll now since you've been briefed by the authorities?
As I was briefed, the death toll is around 78. There are some people who are still missing, and some of them are young children. And I met the family of one family member. Her name is Ongezwa. She has lost her mother and her 2 children, and I think a sister as well. So it's a real sad situation in relation to that family, but I guess many other families are suffering more or less the same misfortune. So far 78, and it could increase by a few other people who are still missing.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys. Thank you so much. ABC can go.
Mna ndingabuyela emotweni andifuni visuals.
All right, a very good afternoon. You're now watching SA Today. You're currently watching live visuals there as President Cyril Ramaphosa has been visiting affected areas in Mthatha that have been ravaged by the floods in the recent days. And what we've just heard there, according to the president, according to what he knows, 78 confirmed dead, more missing, and of course this death toll number is likely to significantly get higher as of course they continue recovering those that are missing. He did pledge that they are prioritizing climate change, specifically under the G20, in order to try and ensure that the issues affecting South Africa's climate-related issues are addressed. He also said they will be, of course, prioritizing local government as well as service delivery. He also pledged assistance to all affected families in Mthatha, especially as they undertake that rebuilding process as, of course, the floods continue. We're going to be having a lot more analysis, of course, with our reporters on the scene as well, just to give you a sense of what is currently taking place in and around those affected areas in Mthatha.